Good morning, GG fam. Good morning. I'm out here in the garden. It's already hot. It's like 11:09. I'm out here way too late. After I got off this morning, I came home. I went to bed, and and that is where I have been. I didn't get my walk in this morning because I'm gonna get it in this evening, which means I will not be out in this garden long. I will not get. I can't exhaust myself out here in the garden today. It's not that much to do, but it is some stuff that do need to be done. It's hot. One of the main things that need to be done is watering. I won't do that now. I will do watering later on this afternoon, or at least get up early in the morning and do it. I just came to show you all what I have gotten for the garden. Things I'm still kind of planning, working the summer garden, but planning for the fall garden. So I have some things here that I got, and I just want to share with you all. And it is this right here, some little pop-up tents that are made for the garden. And it is so covered up. Get some clipper. Okay, guys, I'm back. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But I just wanted to come and show you all what I have. I think I popped this open, and y'all probably didn't even get to see it. But it is one of these pop-up tents. One of these pop-up tents. And I'm going to go get the other one so I can show it to you. Hold on. And I'm going to remember to turn the camera back on this time. Okay, I'm back, guys. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera this way to try to keep you all in the shade and keep myself in the shade as well. But I bought these things because I want to be able to protect my garden during the fall and winter months. That's my goal, try to protect this garden as much as I can. Okay, so I was thinking along the lines, I need to start now to get these things together for the fall. One, so I'll be ready when it comes. And two, so the product will be available. Because sometimes when winter comes, the product, you can order it, but it'll tell you 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on if you have a popular item. And I think this item is pretty popular, what I have here. And it's just one of these pop-up tents. And I like these because you can fold them back up and put them away. And it just pops out. It has the zipper on the back so you could get in and work if you need to. And then it has this zipper mouth on the front so things could get air. So on warmer days, things could get air. But I still can protect my cabbage, my greens, or whatever plant it is I'm trying to protect from that cabbage moth, from worms. Because once I put my fall stuff out, it don't have to be pollinated. So I'm starting from the jump, put something over them. It may not be this. It may be one of my netting things. Hold on. I didn't prepare. I'm just out here and then just started talking. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I am back. Okay, and so what I did, I went and gathered all the things that I used last year. Because the year before that, I didn't have anything. I wasn't prepared because I didn't know anything about gardening. I was just doing it and learning as I go, learning as I watch the video. So here's other ways that I use to cover my garden. This is what I did for, I'm sorry, I got to keep messing with this thing so I could get it right. This is what I did last year. This is what I have now. This is a new product for me, but similar to the same thing that I had last year. With one window here, you can open it up and it'll protect from the cold and the bugs, and you still could get air into your plant. You still could water through these little nettings, or you could open the door on this side and water or do whatever work you have without having to remove it every time. And I don't always put these away. Now these are plastic, so I may put these are plastic, so I may put these away because of the heat, But other than that, I take them, I have them out, I take them, and I just stack them. Stack them like that on top of each other. That is what I do. I take them and I just stack them. Let me get y'all where y'all can see. But that's what I do. I just take these and I stack them. And this is something you could use in your garden for winter, and still your plants could still get air. And you know, I'm doing this to show people who are beginner gardeners who maybe they ain't grew a fall and winter time yet, and they don't know they may need this stuff, or maybe they scared to grow during the fall or winter because they like, well, you know, how I'm gonna cover everything. I have to move everything inside. I have to put stuff in the garage. I have to try to grow inside. I don't grow inside because I just don't want to grow inside my house. I don't have a garage either. I have a driveway. I have a carport, you know, where we park our vehicles on our property, but I don't have a garage to say I could pull things in and protect them from the winter, you know. So I have to figure out other ways. But this is also something you could use like right now. Right now, I have this over a squash plant. Let me show you how it looks. If you've been following the channel, then you saw when I brought these out and I used them for the first time. That's it right there in that yellow bucket. That is it. And I'm going to go over there while I'm looking at this. I'm going to go run over there and throw that shade cloth on it because the sun is out. Hold on. And what I did with the buckets to hold the bag up, just in case if it rained, I didn't want that bucket, the rain to be beating down the bag, the little netting on my plant. So I put in some hoops. I just put in some hoops and crossed them up. What I did was with those little netting bags, I just put in some hoops. Let me put these shades right here, honey, because they keep wanting to slide. But under this bag, I just put 2 hoops in. This is 2 different sizes, but I have the smaller ones. And as you can see, this is a larger one. So there's different sizes. Then there's some that you could put together for on your own. And I thought about, hey, I may need to get these because I may need to put these together on my own and then just have them over here and can rearrange them how I want to over here on my bucket, in my bucket area. I could just take the you can make the hoops as big and as long and as wide as you need them. So I got me some of those, and I have been using them. I used them in my large raised bed, but that is what I did for the netting bag. I put the bag over the bucket, but I also put these in here like this crisscross, and then I put the netting over it. So if the rain comes, this is not laying down on my plant, breaking it up. I have a guard to keep the bag held up. So that's one thing that you can use. And that you could use this now for bugs, for pest protection. And your plant could still get water, could still get sunshine. Here's something that I use, this big, huge thing. This is for my fruit trees when it gets cold. Already, see, I'm starting now, so we'll have this thing when the time comes. You know, if you get snow or not or whatever, start using these. You could use these. Order now. Sometimes things in the off season, things are cheaper. You know, they're a little cheaper. Those things didn't cost me that much. And these little plastic things here, they came 3 in a pack. It's another one over here, came 3 in a pack in this bag right here. Came 3 in a pack. Y'all, and I don't have the link for everything that I'm showing you, but just research it on Amazon, which is where I got this from. Check it out on Temu, because these hoops I got those from Temu, and then when I went back to order some, it was going to take them like 4 weeks to get some more. So I went to Amazon. But because Temu is always a little cheaper to me now, and that's just being honest. Temu to me is always a little cheaper because you ain't got to deal with that middleman and all of that. So, and these 3 things, these pop-up tents, they came in this bag. As you can see, it's 3 in the bag. So, and then they have the little things in here. This is the little tools that you need to hold them down. I'm not going to take those out because I have to be trying to get all that back in. I'm already got to pick all this stuff up I got out here. But that goes in that. Now, that's another way you could cover. Here's another way. This is netting. You could water, get sunlight, feed your plants and all that through this. But you could cover and kind of protect from those moth flies on a good fall day. Maybe in your area it don't get super cold, but you have your cabbage out and you still got to deal with the pestilence. This helps a lot. This has helped a lot, especially when your little seedlings are just getting started. And you could put more than one thing under here. You could put more. Let's test it out. You could put more than one thing under here. So we're going to see how many buckets I actually may be able to get into some of these things and still have it fit properly. I'm going to bring you guys in closer so you can see. I'll turn you around. If you look at that, I have 4 things in there. I didn't move my containers. I just put this over it. I didn't move my containers at all. I just put this over it. So that's 4 things that's covered. I can say something may be able to go up under the the wood down there and get underneath and all that. It may, but you know, I'm doing the best I can from the top. But that is covering 4 things all at once. And I didn't have to move any of my containers. Now I may be able to get a 5th thing in there if I wanted to move something and sit it in the middle and it could cover. So guys, I'm just showing you what I'm doing, how I'm prepping in my garden for fall, because I am so looking forward to fall, honey. I am so looking forward to fall. And another way that I covered last year, these are some things that I already had. These plastic pop-up tents are new because I was like, I need something bigger because my cabbage are going to be into these buckets over here. And I'm pretty sure, hold on a second before I go further. I'm pretty sure this may cover at least 2 things. Let's check it out and see. Because see, you need to know this stuff ahead of time so you'll know what all you need. How do I need to prepare? Do I need to get a bigger netting? You know, if you're just using netting. I have just netting too that I could cut and fit it to size or whatever it is that I'm having. Whatever it is that I'm growing. But let's see what this plastic could cover. It covered 4 buckets, guys. Look at this. It covered 4 buckets. Just like the little pop-up netting. It covered 4 buckets. I'm going to bring y'all in with y'all. 4 buckets. And I didn't have to move or rearrange anything. My plant could still get air because I have this little pocket. And it still have good airflow because one, it's airflow to the bottom. Well, this I will have pulled down as much as I can. But it's airflow from the bottom because it's sitting on the wood pallet and air could come up and out. Air could come up and then out through that, or air could go in and out. It still could get good air circulation, in other words. That's what I'm saying. It still could get good air circulation. Because you don't want to put nothing over your plant for too long that don't have ventilation. But I'm going to show you what I did last year too when it kept getting cold. I know I have some of these out somewhere. Until I wasn't finna try to figure out this was still in the pack and still in my hand. These are just some plastic bags. I had used these last year when it kept getting cold. I use these over my green stalk. I'm not telling nobody else to use plastic over their stuff. I'm just saying this is what we did over here in Glory's garden. And it worked for me. It worked for me. It's 2 of these bags in here. Well, no, it's not. It's 10 of these bags in here. 10 of these bags in here. I'm trying not to unroll all of them. Because you know, once you unroll something, honey, it's hard to get it back how it was packaged. Okay, y'all finna go down. But this big bag, and I absolutely used this last year. I absolutely used this last year over my green stalk. It kept getting cold, and I was, you know how I do when it started getting cold, you have a warm day, or you put it on overnight, you got to run out there and take it off. Oh, it's going to be 20 and below. You got to go throw something over and go run out there and take it off. I used this last year over my green star. You can't leave it on 3 or 4 days. No, you can't. You can't leave it on 3 or 4 days. I went out there, but I did leave it on overnight, and I left it on for 2 days. I tested it, and I left it over my plants for 2 days. But you have to take your time and get your plants up in here so you don't break your plants off. And I used this, and I left it on. And what helped the plants was you didn't get a lot of air in these bags. It got some circulation, but it don't have a vent in here. So therefore, you can't leave these on 2 or 3 days. I left mine on. I put it on that night. I left it on all that day, and then I didn't take it off until the next morning. So it stayed on 2 nights. So, and this is what I use. But what helped the plant is the water residue. It sweats inside of here, which made the plant's soil moist. You could see little water residue in these after I took them off. You could see the water residue. I know it's another name for it right now, and it ain't coming to my mind. But yeah. So this is another thing you could use. 10 in a pack. You just have to be wise with using these because it don't have a vent. Or you can make yourself some little teeny tiny little slits in here. Fold it. I will take it and fold it like this and clip it. You can make little vents in here yourself if you wanted to use this and use in an area like with snow and you needed to keep it. Or you might be able to use this with this and a combination of these right here, these big covers. Because what I did, these big covers is for my fruit trees, but I took these things and I covered like 4 or 5 green stalks. That's what I did last year to protect them from the cold, because it did get cold here last year. We had some harsh cold days. We had snow flurries. The year before that, we actually had snow that stayed on the ground for 2 days. I'm in Georgia, zone 9B. We don't usually get snow, but we got it that year, and that taught me, because I was out here with some old bed sheets trying to wrap them around. I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some of those birthday tablecloths, those little thin plastic ones, and I put the sheet over my thing, and then I put the plastic over it, and that saved my cabbage. It saved my cauliflower. At the time I was trying to go Brussels sprouts. It saved some of my broccoli, because it got cold that year. I know some cold is good, but that would have been freezing cold. That snow sitting on something for 2 days, no. And we had we didn't get a bunch of slow flurries. We got ice that just stuck and looked like, oh, the ground is covered in snow, but it was hard. So you have to think ahead so you can protect your plants, especially if you're a beginner gardener and you're not sure, what all you need. This is another thing that I use too to grow my food. You could put this over a small raised bed. It has 2 windows that you can open up for ventilation. You could water through there. You could fertilize through there. Then you could just simply take it and zip it up. But also that opens up, and then this little netting window here opens up. If you need to get in there and do some work to your plant or whatever, you don't have to take this whole thing off. And it comes with those little steel things to tie it down with. But then you have this. If it's cold and you like, well, I really need to close it, I don't need all that ventilation in tonight, it's going to be cold. You can put that on, zip it up. No, guys, this is not a sponsor video. I'm just talking about what I use in my garden and what I felt like was decent products. And that is all. And then it has the little tie back thing where you could tie it back and keep this window open so the air can flow through. That's another thing that I use on some of the little plants that I had in my raised bed. My raised beds are much bigger than this, but this was tall enough to sit down over a few of my plants, and it just simply folds up. It's not taking up a lot of space. Just simply folds up like this, and you can stick it wherever you need to stick it at. And that's how that closes back up. I'm just trying to give you all some ideas, some thoughts, if you haven't thought about it, or if it's still super hot where you're at and you don't have to think about it right now. I'm thinking about it now because I kind of want to be ahead of the game. And I know things cost money, and I don't like being broke. I don't want to have to buy everything at one time. And then I want the things to be available to me. If you wait till it get cold, it's not just cold and snowing where you at. It's cold and snowing in about 10, 15 states, up north, getting up northwest and up north that gets cold and stuff like that. I'm down here in Georgia. I'm an hour from Florida. It got cold here last year. Me and my husband, we was out here covering and uncovering, covering and uncovering. If you've been gardening for a while, for a few years, especially if you grow year round, and we're year round gardeners, year round growers over here. So that we was out here covering, uncovering. I come home from work, we cover, but we needed to have the things here that we could use so we could cover. So these are some of the things I use. If you prepare now, you'll be ready. I know it's still hot in summer now, and some of us not even think about fall coming, and a lot of us are thinking about fall coming more in the line of we gonna start dropping some seeds. We starting to do our little seedlings, so we'll be ready. But you also have to be ready to protect those seedlings when you put them out there. Here it started getting cold here last year, October. It was okay. It was cool. November, December, it was cold. We was out here every day covering and uncovering, and it stayed cold for a while, and it dropped below 30 plenty of days. It got down to the teens here. That's kind of unusual, but since I know that can happen, then I want to be prepared for it, because I don't want to have all my seedlings out here and they froze to death, and they did. So that is what I'm doing, is preparing my garden now. And I'm probably gonna keep these little things over, especially that plastic. I think I'm gonna keep that out so it can start stretching out. Some of the ones that I pulled out, I'm gonna keep them out. One, because I have these buckets already fertilized, already set, just to put something in it. And we've been getting some rain here and there, hard rain, and they have been wet. So I don't want that rain washing all my fertilizer out. When I drop my seedlings in these things, I am gonna throw some more bone meal and stuff like that, a little more worm casting, but especially that bone meal and blood meal, throw a little more in there, because I feel like with the rain that we have had over the past 3 to 4 weeks, that probably need to be amended a little bit. It's not feeding the plant, but it can be washed out with the rain. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I just wanted to give you an idea of some things you can use. So maybe you won't use these things. Maybe you would think about just the netting, to cover up for the mothworm. But maybe you get ice, maybe you get snow, maybe you're like me. Never really snowed in my area, but it did one winter. It snowed, and I had to think, what can I do real quick? Grab some old sheets and some of those tablecloths from the Dollar Tree. Well, if you get snow in your area and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, now's the time to go start getting this stuff. Now's the time to say, well, how many plants am I going to have that may need? Because I know we going to get snow here, and I still like to grow. Because even if you throw things in a garage or in your greenhouse, sometimes it still get cold. I seen one grower, she had her fruit trees. She had them in her greenhouse. They still died. She had them in a greenhouse. They still died. So you want to be prepared for that, because maybe you need to put them in your greenhouse and still have something to cover them with. This thing could cover it really is so big. You're supposed to just drop this over your fruit trees. Y'all see how big this thing is? Bigger than what I can stretch. You're supposed to just drop this over your fruit trees. It has a zipper on it, and it has a drawstring to the bottom, so you could tie it tight around that pot to keep that cool air out, to protect your plants. But you need to start trying to grab your stuff now, guys. You need to get your stuff now, so when those cold temps hit, and this is your first time finna go through trying to grow, or maybe you like, oh, well, they got that, I could get this, I could get that. Hey, I might be able to grow me 4 or 5 pots. Maybe you usually grow, but you don't garden during the wintertime because, hey, it's too cold, I'm not going out there. But if you be prepared, then you might say, hey, I'll try 3 or 4 pots or something. Maybe I'll try some cabbage or something like that out there. Guys, I'm just trying to, show you what I use. Hopefully this video has helped you. Yes, this stuff costs money, but it's cheap ways to cover things. It's cheap ways to cover things, guys. Like I said, old sheets, they work just as good. When I was growing up, my daddy, they didn't go buy this stuff because they didn't have it back in the day when my daddy was growing his greens and stuff. But they use old sheets. You'll see some of the older ladies in my area, because I'm in a country, I'm down south, but this is also a tourist area. in the part of South that I live in. You know, it's people travel and from all over the world to come to this area where I'm at. Um, and you know, so my parents, they didn't have all this stuff. They out, you would see older ladies and stuff. It's still some little country rural area here. You'll see the older ladies when it got cold, who they went and got those little sheets and they would throw them over their flowers. Maybe they wasn't growing food, but they had their favorite flowers growing out and it got too cold for them. They would get those sheets and throw them over. That stuff do work. Those sheets do work because it saved me my first year of gardening. It really did save me my first year of gardening because that is what I use. And I still used them last year and I still will use them this year because I have so many individual pots that I want to make sure that they're going to be covered good. You know, if you don't want the things laying on your plant, use the hoops, guys, use the hoops. So let's kind of recap what we can do to protect our crops doing the thing. You see these two things over here, that's a netting, and then that's a plastic with a net window, pop-up tents. And they have some things smaller than that. I have some smaller pop-up tents smaller than that came two in a pack. They're smaller than that, and they probably will only cover probably 2 buckets though. But I'm trying to prepare myself. So you have these nettings, these pop-up tents, 3 in a pack. Both of these was 3 in a pack. This I had last year. If you could look at it, how faded it is. It was that same pretty dark green as that. It faded, but guess what? It still works. The material hasn't broken down on it. The netting that didn't get holes in it from the sun, so it still works. So it'll still be used. You could buy things to go over your raised bed that could just pop out. They making it so convenient for us, you know, because they want that dollar, but we need this. And this wasn't expensive. I think I have 2 of these. You can put it over your little raised bed, especially if you're starting your seedlings out and it gets cold in your area quick, you know. So, and then we have the netting, the bag netting. It will fit over a nice big pot. It has the drawstring that you could do something with, guys. And use the hoops to protect it. So if it rains, snow, you don't have your bag or whatever you're using to protect your plant on it, because this don't have any rods in it like the pop-up tents do. Don't have any rods. And everything that I have purchased, I'm not gonna lie to you, it has been worth it. It has been worth it. I don't have the link for everything because this stuff I had last year, I would have to go back and research it. But if anybody asks me in the comments about it that need the link, I'll go back and research it. I'll try to find something. It's a gnat flying in front of my face. I'm sorry, guys. Keep fanning. But I would try to go back and find it and research it for you and put the link in the bottom. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead on and end this video over here in Glory's garden. This is what we're doing today. One part of what we're doing today is just preparing for fall, making sure that I have in this garden what the things that I know I need. It may not snow at all this year. Last year we didn't get snow that stuck, but we got some very low temperatures in the teens and snow flurries, and we was able to protect our plants and still harvest and have food for our family to eat. And that is what we want to do. All right, guys, if this is your first time over here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope it was helpful to you in some kind of way. I'm Kathy, growing over here in Glory's garden. Gigi fam, I'll see you in this garden later.